Hello, my name is JC Soto and I'm a nationally board certified hearing instrument specialist and the founder of Altamonte Family Hearing. We're a local audiology practice in Altamonte Springs, Florida. And today I'd like to shoot a video on how to maintain your receiver in the canal hearing aids. We're going to be going over Oticon hearing aids, Signia, and Unitron. However, this video can serve for other manufacturers as well, because most have similar couplings for the inserts and for the wax guards. So I'm going to begin today with Oticon hearing. Before we begin, I strongly recommend to have a towel, a napkin, or a blanket, anything on the surface just so that there's a contrast just in case we drop one of the pieces. I'm going to begin with the Oticon hearing aids, and my recommendation is as you remove it from the charger, the first thing we want to do is take a little brush and brush the tips, as I'm doing here. So we want to grab a brush. I use a soft toothbrush. Just brush the ends so that any excessive wax can flake right off. I strongly recommend for everyone to do this every morning before they put their hearing aids on. The reason we recommend to do this in the morning is whatever wax is on the hearing aid, it's going to be hardened and dry and it'll flake right off, as opposed to smearing it as it's moist. Once we've gotten that out of the way and we have it nice and clean, I personally use small alcohol prep pads like these here. So normally you can find these at the drugstores, CVS, Walgreens, or online. I buy them in bulk, but it makes it easier to clean and sanitize the hearing aids. And don't worry, over time the alcohol can degrade the coupling on the end, the inserts, the ear domes, they have so many names. However, whenever you're bringing the hearing aids into your local hearing care provider, they're always going to be changing these domes. We see our patients every 3 months and we make sure to change these every time. So the first thing you want to do to remove them after you've wiped them and cleaned them is you want to try to hold on to the receiver end, which is this metal piece here. Make sure that you're putting pressure on the end of the receiver and not on the cable itself, because we don't want to damage the hearing aids. So I like to pinch it here, and then with my alcohol pad or with my bare fingers, you want to try to pinch the dome and pull it right off. Typically with enough resistance they'll pull off, and you should expose a small white filter as we're seeing right here. Next, we want to change the filter. The two things that will cause our hearing aid to stop working the most are either a dead battery or a plugged up filter. With rechargeable hearing aids, we know that the batteries are still up and running, so if it's not working, the next step is changing that filter piece. For Oticon, they have this specific wax guard that's exclusive for their products. Your hearing care provider should give you one of these. And all you have to do is pull back on this piece. You're going to expose a brand new filter, and the other end is to help you remove the previous filter. So I'm going to show you how to do it now. We're going to hold on to the hearing aid again, putting emphasis on the receiver end, and we're going to take the piece that doesn't have a filter on it, so not this one, but this one right up top, and all you have to do is poke it in. You should hear a snap, or you should feel some resistance, and then you're going to pull it right out. We're then going to take the other end and we're going to poke it right back into the same hole and pull it out. And now we've replaced the filter on our Oticon hearing aids. The next step is, if you don't have any new domes, feel free to clean and use the same one, but you're going to grab your ear dome. There's only one way that it'll latch on, and you want to slide it right over that receiver and push it down. Make sure that you push down, and I strongly recommend to rotate the head as you're pushing to ensure that it's on properly. The last thing that we want is an ear dome stuck in our ears. I also like to give it a tug back just to be 100% sure that it's fitted on properly. And that's it. That's how you clean the domes of an Oticon hearing aid. If you'd like, you can take the brush and brush off any excessive wax on the exterior as well. Back here we see this is one of the microphones. If we sweat profusely, you may see a little bit of sweat and grime that builds on there. Just grab the toothbrush, brush away, and that way we can ensure it lasts us a long time. place it back in the charger. Up next, we have the Signia AX hearing aids. So with most Signia products, we're gonna be doing the same thing. The idea is we're gonna remove the dome, change the filter, and brush the exterior. As I explained with the Oticon hearing aids, you wanna hold on to the receiver at the metal end. We don't wanna put any unnecessary strain on the receiver, which is also called the speaker wire. Before we begin, we wanna take our brush, and if we see any excessive wax, be sure to brush all the wax out of the dome. Next, we want to take a new alcohol prep pad and we can use this pad to safely grasp onto the hearing aid dome and remove it. You should just feel, this one's a little smaller, but you should be able to just pinch the head and pull it right out. This one had a little bit of a bite to it, but the same rule applies. So long as you're holding firmly on the receiver, just pull away and we will expose the filter. For Signia, they have a filter cartridge system. Very similar to Oticon, it just looks a little bit different. You want to open this cartridge. You can also buy these online or get them from your hearing care provider. And what you want to do is you're going to expose the new filter tips. Pull one of the sticks out and we're going to find that one end has a brand new filter and the other is to help you remove the previous filter, the old filter. Hold on to your hearing aid. We want to put the end that has nothing on it right in the middle, like so, and then you'll feel it bite and then you just pull it right out. And now as we can see, we have no more filter in there. Then we're going to rotate that stick and just push the new filter right in. You should feel a little bite, you should feel a click, and then now we have a new filter on the hearing aid. Next, we're gonna take that ear dome. I'm gonna hold it here with my hands instead of the wipe, just so that we can see it, because it is very small. So we wanna take this dome, and we're just gonna slide it right over. You should see little teeth marks, little bite marks on the receiver, and that's what's gonna latch the dome onto the receiver. There's only one way to put this on, so just slide it right on over, and you'll feel it bite and attach. And just like with the Oticon, I recommend to push the dome in, give it a little twist just to make sure that it's in there nice and snug. Lastly, take your toothbrush. If you see any dry wax, dead skin on the exterior of the hearing aid, be sure to flake it off. And with Signia hearing aids, they have a little hole for the microphone. I like to take the teeth of the toothbrush and just push it right through. This might be difficult to catch on camera, but you want to feed it right through and push out any of the grime out of the microphone slot. And that's it. Now we have a nice clean hearing aid, and you could put it back on the charger. All right, and finally, I'm gonna explain how to clean your Unitron hearing aids. Unitron and Phonak are Sonova products, and their filter system's a little bit different than the rest that I showed. But for any Sonova products, you should be able to follow these steps and change those filters on your own at home. Okay, first, we're going to remove the hearing aid from the charger. So let's open this up. And you'll notice that with Phonak and Unitron, their hearing aids fit more snug on the charger, so we have to pull it out. There we go. And be sure to place it on the napkin, just like the other ones. And the first thing we're gonna do is grab that alcohol prep pad and clean the exterior of the hearing aid. So just like before, here's that receiver, here's that speaker wire. We wanna pinch the wire at the end. We wanna pinch the speaker, not to put any unnecessary strain on that wire. With your toothbrush or the little brush that comes in the box, be sure to wipe any excessive wax and dead skin that's on the dome. After you've done so, we're gonna open up that new prep pad like this, and we're gonna grab onto the dome, give it a final wipe, and with the pad, we're gonna pull that dome away, just as I did here. So, nice and easy, it pulls right off. And now we've exposed the filter. If you compare this to the Signia and Oticon ones, we see it's a little different. The filter's deeply embedded in the receiver, and that's why their cartridge system is a little bit different. So I'll show you now. For Phonak and Unitron, you're gonna have a cartridge disc for the filter. What you wanna do is, this disc has 2 levels. Level 1 is to throw away your old filter. Level 2 in the bottom is to plug in your new filter. What you want to do is rotate this disc clockwise. There we go. And you should see that number 1 does not have a filter inside, and number 2 is showing a new filter that's ready to go on your hearing aid. Place the filter down on a table or on a hard surface, and you want to grab the hearing aid again by the receiver speaker. And all you're going to do is press this end into the number 1, which has the garbage bin, and that's going to remove the old filter. So we're going to push this right in. You should feel it bite and pull it out, and now we have nothing here, and we can see that the number 1 is filled with a new filter. We're going to plug this end now in the bottom, the number 2. You should feel it or hear it bite, and now we see that we have a brand new wax guard or filter in the receiver. And that's it. Lastly, we're gonna grab the dome, just as before. It only goes in one way. You're gonna slide it right over the receiver. You'll feel it bite. And just to be safe again, we're gonna grab that, twist it, make sure it's on nice and snug, pull it back if you'd like. We wanna make sure that that dome is on there properly. Finally, we're gonna brush the exterior. If you see any excessive wax or oils, dead skin, let's brush that off. And let's put the hearing aid right back into the charger. Once you place it down, you should see the lights go on. So there you have it. I've taught you how to change your own filters and clean your receiver in the Canal hearing aid. Today we've gone over 3 of the leading manufacturers available. However, the other brands, other manufacturers that are not mentioned today should have a similar process. All hearing aids, all receiver in the Canal hearing aids have a wax guard that needs to be changed. If you don't feel comfortable doing so, be sure to go to your local hearing care provider so that they can change them out for you. If you or your loved one are experiencing difficulty hearing, feel free to consider Altamonte Family Hearing as your superior hearing care provider. We offer free, complete hearing evaluations, and you can schedule today at 407-949-6737. We look forward to seeing you soon.